If you are experiencing foundation issues, get a free estimate from Ox Foundations. If you are experiencing foundation issues, get a free estimate from Ox Foundations.
It is game week for the B.B. Comer Tigers, and Coach Adam Fossett, the head football coach and athletic director, joins us for a few minutes this morning. Coach, not playing a 0-week game, is that good or not so good for the Tigers, you think?
I don't like a week 0 game. I would rather play a scrimmage. We weren't able to get a scrimmage in place. The teams that had openings, they had openings for a reason, because not too many people wanted to play them. Mm-hmm. So, that is a concern going into tomorrow night's game. Is we haven't had game speed. So Winterboro's got a game under their belt. We don't. So I'm interested to see how we are out of the gate, how we are, from that first snap. How do we react? Also very interested to see how we react to adversity. I told them yesterday, adversity is going to happen in a game. Something bad is going to happen in a game. It's not if, it's when. So how we react to it is how it will show a lot about where we are.
Any added significance to the game tomorrow night with you, former head coach at Winterboro? Any added thought to that?
Not really. I'll always be grateful for the opportunity I was given at Winterboro. That's where I was given a start, given an opportunity to be a head coach. But I've been gone for so long that the kids that are playing now at Winterboro, they don't remember. Mm-hmm. They don't remember when I was there. They were a lot younger. So I don't think it's as big of not as big of a deal as I guess people would think it is. Mm-hmm. I think it's a great opportunity to be able to play against a team that I used to coach. There's some people still down there in the teaching and coaching that I know. So, that's a lot of fun. But as far as knowing those guys and watched them grow up, I haven't seen. I haven't been around for that. You,
with the open week last week, get a chance personally to scout the Bulldogs. Mm-hmm. Your thoughts on them?
We didn't have that kind of size when I was down there. I know that. They've got a couple kids that are 6'5" or bigger, have quite a bit of size. They've got some good speed. So, they're coming off a big win. You put up 36 points and shut out a team. It doesn't matter who that team is. That's a big win. So, again, it goes back to they've got 4 quarters of game experience under their belt, and we got a whole lot of practice under our belt. So, they are impressive in some areas. They do some things well. They do some things that scare us a little bit. So, we've practiced that and worked on that. And, at the end of the day, at 5 o'clock today, the old saying, the hay's in the barn, is the truest thing in the world, because the hay is in the barn and it's time to play ball. So, we have done, as a staff, I think we've done everything to prepare them up to this point. So, it's funny because, like, one of the things that we've really keyed on is special teams. And some of the kids are like, Coach, we do special teams every day. I'm like, yeah, it's a third of the game. You can't start a game without a special team. It's either going to be kickoff or kickoff return. So we practice all that. We know just from watching the game, Winterboro has about 15 different kickoffs that they do. So they got 2 different guys lined up there, and one of them will run by the ball and the other one will kick it and things like that. So we've spent some extra time on that this week, making sure that we're prepared for it, making sure our front line's prepared, our second group's prepared as far as, what do you do? Understanding the rules of the game. That is a live ball. You got to get on that ball. So we've prepared on that and worked on that all week too.
With fall camp done, and you got one light workout today, and then kick tomorrow night against Winterboro at Legion Stadium, and you've come in and you've began to honor some of the former coaches at B.B. Comer, at least Coach Cobb and his legacy, and
Right.
Coach went to Winterboro and
Right.
Was a great coach in 3 sports.
Yes. Tomorrow night we're going to honor Coach Cobb and the legacy of Coach Cobb. He did 25 years just at B.B. Comer. And if you know anything about B.B. Comer athletics, you know about Ty Cobb. I mean, you just know the role that he played, how much he cared about the kids, how much he invested in them, and all the things that he did. So he's one of those guys that he's a game changer for the school he was at. And with being at B.B. Comer and staying there and being there that whole time, or that length of time, it just shows the dedication that he had to the kids and to the area and things like that. So I had the opportunity to meet with him and talk to him numerous times when I first got into the county and first got here. I know if he saw me out, he'd always tell me about, every time he'd say, I played at Winterboro when I was at Winterboro. So, he'd always tell me that. He'd always have, he always had time for you. He always talked to you. He always, you knew that he cared. He loved talking about football. He loved talking about the game and, what we're doing and how the kids are doing and things like that. So for us to be able to honor his legacy and have his family there, and going back to social media, I posted it on social media that we were doing it. And the last time, there's some little thing that keeps up with how many people it reaches. The last time I looked, it reached over 5,000 people.
Wow.
So that's amazing that, you start out with a small post and somebody reads it and then somebody shares it and somebody else shares it. So you're talking about over 5,000 people that saw this. So it's going to be a good night. We're going to have a little tent area set up for the family to come and be greeted by anybody that played for Coach Cobb or were taught by Coach Cobb or whatever else. And then, excuse me, before the game, we'll honor him, have the family out on the field and honor him and just kind of let people soak that moment up and make sure that he is recognized and make sure that his legacy is recognized, because it's very important to recognize those people that paved the way for getting it where it is and for building what we have.
Head football coach Adam Fossett, the B.B. Comer Tigers, our guest this morning. We'll take a quick time out and come back and talk further about the matchup tomorrow night in just a minute.
Hot under the collar because your basement is full of water? Call a local company you can trust. Ox Foundation Solutions. We use the most advanced water management system to stop water from invading your basement for good. Things feeling a little uneven at home? Ox Foundation Solutions will fix your uneven concrete sidewalk, driveway, or basement in no time. Ox Foundation Solutions has the best plan to keep your home safe. If you are experiencing any issues with your sidewalks, basement, crawl space, or foundation, get a free estimate from Ox Foundations.
Drew and Jonathan Scott here. We are so excited to help you get a better night's sleep. That's right, holidays are all about mattress shopping. Everybody knows that. And you will not find a better sleep than our Scott Living collection.
Get a free box spring with the purchase of a Scott Living mattress during the Restonic Labor Day mattress sale. Enjoy healthy, comfortable sleep on a Scott Living mattress. And when you buy the mattress, you get the box spring free. Plus 24 months special financing during the Restonic Labor Day mattress sale.
Come in today to check out these and many more great deals. King's Mattress Outlet, Sylacauga.
We can continue with Coach Adam Fossett, the head football coach and athletic director at B.B. Comer High School. And Coach, before we go any further, you got a special hello this morning.
That's right. Today is my wife's birthday. Want to wish her a happy birthday. Boys, if you're watching, do not forget to wish Mom a happy birthday. It's very important today. If Mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. So
you're not going to sing, right?
No, I'm not going to sing. I want to keep our viewers, so I won't do any singing for you.
B.B. Comer hasn't won a home opener in 18 years.
Yes,
now,
sir.
That is a mark that you want to do something about tomorrow night.
I thought I was the only one that knew that. I checked on that last week. I was looking at some dates and records and things like that. Yeah, 18 years. I think it's time to end that. I think it's time to start out 1-0 and get things rolling. So I've mentioned it to the kids, you always look for motivators for the guys, and that's a motivator. I said, not only can you be part of a foundation of rebuilding, but we can start this thing off right with a win and be 1-0 for the first time in 18 years.
Of course, it's B.B. Comer's had their way with Winterboro overall, but every year is a new year. Talk about some of the kids that you're leaning on coming out of fall camp into the first game tomorrow night.
First and foremost, the big thing is going to be the play of Jason McMillan. Jason's played since 8th grade. He started in some fashion, whether it be offense, defense, or both ways, since 8th grade. So he's one of those kids that made it all through the season last year and played well for us. So he's going to be a key for us offensively and defensively.
What does that say, Coach, for a young man that's gone through the rigors and obviously it's been a difficult few years at BB Comer, but he's stayed the course.
Yeah, he's he's Mr. Consistent. He's there. He's steady as it goes. He's a quiet guy, but to show that he can go through that, and him and I know I'll forget a name and I apologize, but I know him and Hunter Harris and Justin Vincent and a couple other kids that they've stayed with it. They've stayed the course, and kids like that are the ones that you want to go 1-0 for on that first week, and you want them, you want so badly just to shake it and be like, this is so important, let's go get this, and but those guys are they've been through it all, and it says a lot that they still come out and they still have positives to say about the program. They're still recruiting people and they're still defending the program and things like that. So it says a lot about those guys. But Jason's going to be a big one for us. Justin Vincent's going to have to step up and play huge for us. I think our line play, both offensive and defensive line play, is going to be huge.
And that's been a difficult thing for BB Comer in recent years.
The concept of, hey, let's fire off the ball and drive our feet. I know a lot of our viewers, they've seen me in public before. I was never a skill player. I was always a lineman. So been a lineman since I was born. And that's the mentality that I have is go to work and get in the trenches, and that's where football's made. So we've focused on that a lot. We focused on getting off the ball, firing off, blocking, staying on blocks. Defensively, we focused on using our hands and getting off blocks. So our line play will be key, not only tomorrow night, but every Friday night until the end of the season. That will be huge for us.
Who's a player, too, Coach, that just kind of jumps off the page at you in fall camp that's playing in the interior line that you say, wow, that's a pleasant surprise?
I'll tell you, the big surprise for me has been Kobe McCain, he's a younger kid. We started him out at tackle in the spring. We moved him to guard, and now he's playing center. So he can play all 5 positions on the field. He's playing now with a small bummed hand, but can play on it or can play with it. But he's hey, we need you to do this. Yes, sir. We need you to do this. Yes, sir. So he's really soaked it up. He's really accepted the role, and we're in a day and time where it's about stats and it's about this and touchdowns and things like that. So finding those guys that take pride in that offensive line, it's not like it used to be. And I remember being that offensive lineman in high school, and those 4 other guys with me, we had a lot of pride about that back, making sure that back got 150 yards a game or whatever the case was, whatever the goal was. So trying to instill that in those guys. Hey, look, your role is important, because take you 5 out, he doesn't get those yards. He may get a couple just because he's a good back, but you 5 guys you're the stalwarts. You're the ones that set the tone for the game.
You mentioned earlier in the show about special teams, and that's been an Achilles heel for BB Comer for a long time. And a lot of folks that watch BB Comer expect if you score a touchdown, you're going to go for 2 points because you didn't have anybody kick the extra point, or get in poor field position because of a punt or the kickoffs.
Right.
Talk about that.
Yeah, special teams is important. We work kickoff. We work, kick the ball and get down the field. Punt, protect, let the guy punt it, and cover. So we've worked a ton of different scenarios. We've worked it against air. We've worked it live. We've worked it's redundant in my head now. So I hope it's redundant in theirs, because again, I explained to them firsthand, this is important. This is why we have to do this. And as a young coach, I remember not taking care of special teams. I remember I remember being gung-ho. We got to be able to score, and we got to be able to stop people from scoring. Everything in between, I'm not worried about. And then special teams has hurt me a couple of times in games. So I guess as a coach, you learn and you continue to build off of your mistakes as well. So we've made sure to invest in excuse me, in that time. Now we will still go for 2 quite a bit. It's just percentages and odds. We like our chances of going for 2, and we've got about 3 guys that are equally consistent or equally inconsistent in kicking extra points.
One of the 2.
Yeah, depending on how you want to look at it. So I'm very nervous there. I like my chances of going for 2 a lot better right now. But it's stuff that we'll continue to work on. You know, every practice that we get the opportunity, we'll work that and get better at it. If I feel comfortable enough, or the time, or if the score provides, and we can, I'll let those guys rotate in game type situations, and we'll see what happens.
Keys to success for BB Comer tomorrow night in the home opener.
Very first thing is what I've told them all week. You got to play physical. This is a physical sport. It's a contact sport, and we have to be physical. That's kind of I want my teams to be known as physical teams. I want them to know. I want the other team to know at the end of the night, even if we come up short on the scoreboard, I want the teams to know, hey, we just played a physical team. We just played a tough physical team. So being physical, being disciplined is huge. I'm very big on discipline. I'm very big on, hey, you play ball. Nobody needs to know who tackled you or who you tackled or whatever else. You don't have to say a word to them. You tackle them, you go back to the huddle and get ready to tackle them again. So, you know, I'm big on the discipline factor of it. And less mistakes. You know, who's going to make the least amount of mistakes? Who's going to control the ball better? Who's going to protect the ball better? So toughness, discipline, and lack of errors will be huge.
People ask me, and they especially have in the last few weeks, they've rode by the practice field and they see a lot of numbers out there. How many numbers do we have coming into tomorrow night?
We'll dress 36 tomorrow. Now that's 9 through 12, and I think we're dressing 5 8th graders. So we've got 52 total. That's 7 through 12. So 7th graders and some of my 8th graders won't dress, but tomorrow night we will dress 36. So and those guys were excited to know, because we call out, hey, you're dressing. So some of those guys yesterday were like, oh man, I get to dress, especially some of our young kids.
Yeah.
But it's an opportunity for some of those, and we want to reward those, especially those young kids that were there all summer and put in all the work and things like that. You want to reward those kids, and you want them to get a taste of those Friday Night Lights, because it's not too far from them being out there. That's right. You know, that's the future of your program. Coach
Adam Fossett, the head football coach and athletic director at BB Comer. They will be our highlight game tomorrow night. BB Comer hosting Winterboro at the stadium. Coach, we'll see you there.
Sounds good.
More Daybreak right after this.